By the time people realize what's missing, these 10 items will be long gone. They won't be announced on the news. No trending hashtags, just quiet, empty shelves. And the worst part? These aren't your obvious prepper picks. They're the unique, everyday tools and ingredients that disappear without warning until it's too late. If you think your pantry or supply stash is ready, think again. This list is for the few who plan ahead, not react late. These are the items no one's talking about, but everyone will be desperate for by July. Before we dive in, hit that like button and drop a comment with your city. It helps more people see this before it's too late, and you might spot another prepper near you. Most people prepare for the obvious: flour, batteries, water. But the most damaging shortages are the ones you never saw coming. When June ends, supply chains will tighten in ways we haven't seen before. Delays, recalls, and export bans are already hitting quietly in the background. These 10 unique items, they're already showing signs of stress, and most shoppers won't even notice until they're gone. Whether you're a weekend prepper or all in on self-reliance, this list is built to keep you ahead of the curve, not behind it. Let's get into the 10 quietly disappearing essentials for summer and beyond. 1. Butane canisters, the silent fuel source. That'll vanish. First, most preppers focus on food, but how will you cook it when the power goes out or propane tanks run dry? That's where butane canisters come in. They're small, clean-burning, and perfect for portable stoves. But here's the problem: they're about to get extremely hard to find. Butane canisters are the fuel source for many tabletop stoves, backpacking burners, and emergency cookers. Unlike bulkier propane tanks, they're lightweight, single-use, and don't require specialized hookups. But they're also heavily imported from South Korea, China, and Japan, countries facing container shortages, shipping slowdowns, and increased demand from commercial buyers. As of May 2025, major U.S. retailers are already showing intermittent stock online and in stores. Outdoor and camping supply chains are especially strained, with manufacturers prioritizing larger bulk clients over individual retail. That means fewer canisters on the shelf, and once June rolls into peak camping and hurricane season, the shortage will hit fast and hard. Why are these canisters so important? In a grid-down scenario, butane stoves offer silent, indoor-safe cooking. Options, ideal during blackouts or if you live in apartments where open flames are a no-go. And because they're easier to store and safer to handle than propane, they've become a favorite in urban prepping circles. Each 8-oz canister burns for 1.5 to 2 hours, depending on flame intensity. That's enough to boil water, fry eggs, or heat a pot of stew, but you'll burn through them quickly if you're cooking daily, so having a solid stash is essential. Also, consider their barter value. In a prolonged emergency, people will have food, but not everyone will have fuel to cook it. A single butane canister could become more valuable than a meal. Most people don't even know these exist. That's why they'll vanish first. Getty. Ahead, stock up and don't forget to check the expiration date on your stove. Number 2, manual water filters. Everyone forgets most people stock bottled water. Smart preppers go a step further. But the sharpest know this: manual water filters, not fancy electric systems, will be gold after June 2025. Here's why. Water. Grids are under pressure. Aging infrastructure, contamination incidents, and storm-driven outages are on the rise. If your tap fails, boiling won't be enough, especially if fuel's limited. And bottled water? It'll disappear in days. Enter portable, gravity-fed, or hand-pump water filters like LifeStraw, Sawyer Mini, or Berkey systems. These don't rely on electricity, they're lightweight, reliable, and can filter hundreds to thousands of gallons of water from lakes, rivers, or questionable taps. As of May 2025, outdoor retailers and preparedness websites report rising sales and longer restock windows. Global demand is rising, especially in countries already facing droughts and water treatment failures. Most people don't think of water filtration until it's too late, and once the panic hits, these filters vanish from shelves instantly. That's exactly what happened in Texas during past blackouts, and what'll happen again. Don't wait for a boil notice. Get your water filters now before the rush. Number 3, reusable menstrual products. When supply chains tighten, hygiene products are among the first to disappear, especially for women. Pads and tampons fly off shelves fast. But what's less obvious and far more sustainable is the rising Demand for reusable menstrual products like menstrual cups, washable pads, and period underwear, these aren't luxury items anymore. They're survival tools, and in a crisis, they're irreplaceable. Most of these products are imported or rely on overseas medical-grade silicone and specialized textiles. As of May 2025, prices for cups and reusable pads have increased by 20 to 25%, and online inventory is tightening. Specialty sizes and trusted brands are often back-ordered weeks out. Why are they critical? Because they last. A single menstrual cup can last 5 to 10 years with proper care. That's not just convenience, it's security. In a long-term emergency, access to disposable sanitary products may be gone for months. Reusables eliminate that risk. They also store small, require minimal cleaning, and are perfect for bug-out bags or emergency kits. Add a few to your preps. Even if you don't need them personally, someone in your household or barter circle will. These items never make headline shortages, but they're among the first to go. Stock them before June. Number 4, sewing. Kits in a crisis, things rip, clothes tear, gear breaks, and unless you have the tools to fix them, small problems quickly become big ones. That's why sewing kits, simple, portable, and dirt cheap, will be one of the most valuable, yet overlooked items to disappear after June 2025. Modern life has made most people forget how important clothing repair really is. But in a supply chain crunch, replacing socks, jeans, or backpacks isn't so easy. A basic sewing kit lets you patch, reinforce, or customize gear using nothing but a needle, thread, and 10 minutes of time. As of May 2025, large format sewing kits, the kind with multiple thread colors, extra needles, buttons, and scissors, are already seeing slower restocks in dollar stores and online retailers. Hobby stores have shifted focus to fabric and machines, not survival-grade kits. Why does this matter? Because sewing isn't just about clothes. You can repair tents, tarps, canvas bags, mosquito nets, and even shoes with the right needle and heavy-duty thread. And in grid-down scenarios, keeping your gear in working shape saves resources, time, and comfort. Plus, sewing kits are compact. A full repair setup can fit in your hand and could be worth serious barter value to someone stuck with torn boots or a busted pack. Don't overlook the humble needle and thread. When new stops being an option, repaired becomes the only choice. Get your sewing kits now, because no one else is thinking about it. Yet. Number 5, electrolyte powders. In a survival situation, clean water isn't enough. You also need to retain it. That's where electrolyte powders come in, and why they'll disappear quickly after June 2025. Electrolyte powders like Liquid IV, LMNT, or even basic oral rehydration salts contain critical minerals like sodium, potassium, and magnesium. These aren't just for athletes, they're for anyone facing heat, physical stress, illness, or limited food intake. When you're sweating through a summer blackout, rationing water, or dealing with illness, electrolytes can mean the difference between functioning and fainting. Here's the catch. These powders rely on globally sourced ingredients and medical-grade packaging, much of which comes from India and China. And with global instability rising, shipments are already slowing. As of May 2025, prices have risen 25 to 40%, and many reputable brands are reporting low inventory and long restock delays. Electrolytes also have military and hospital demand. In an emergency, government agencies often buy up commercial supply for field use or disaster response, leaving retail customers empty-handed. Why do these powders matter so much? Because they store compactly, last for 2+ years, and can be added to even questionable water sources to help the body retain fluid during heat, diarrhea, or exhaustion. They also help when transitioning to lower-carb emergency diets, where sodium and potassium depletion are common. They're also perfect for bug-out bags, car kits, and barter. In a heat wave, disaster zone, or food-scarce environment, a single electrolyte packet could be more valuable than gold. Don't wait for the next heat wave or hurricane to realize you're out. Stock up now while the shelves still have options, and before they're bought out for disaster stockpiles. Number 6, bar soap. Most people assume bar soap will always be on the shelf. It's cheap, it's everywhere, until it's not. And as we move into the second half of 2025, bar soap is becoming one of the most quietly threatened hygiene items. In the supply chain, here's why. Most soap sold in the US, even the big brands, is manufactured overseas or depends on imported ingredients like palm oil, coconut oil, and glycerin. With rising shipping delays, global inflation, and instability in major producing regions like Southeast Asia and West Africa, these base ingredients are becoming harder to secure and more expensive to process. As of May 2025, wholesale soap prices have already increased 20–30%, and many retailers are quietly shrinking bar sizes or limiting bulk inventory. In discount stores and warehouse clubs, multi-packs are vanishing faster than they can be restocked. Bar soap isn't just about staying clean, it's about disease prevention, morale, and sanitation, especially when access to running water or medical care becomes limited. Liquid soaps, hand sanitizers, and fancy dispensers are fine, until the grid goes down. Then it's simple, long-lasting bar soap that holds the line. The advantages: bar soap stores indefinitely. It doesn't freeze, doesn't leak, and doesn't expire. It's compact, stackable, and ideal for long-term storage. You can use it for hand washing, bathing, shaving, even emergency laundry or dish cleaning in a pinch. And let's not forget, bar soap is a high-value barter item. When hygiene products disappear, people will trade heavily for the basics, especially something as familiar and universally needed as soap. Whether you use it daily or just want it as a backup, now's the time to buy. Stock up on trusted brands while prices are still reasonable, or grab bulk packaged plain bars for storage. Don't wait until the shelves are wiped and you're left with overpriced liquid soap or nothing at all. Add bar soap to your prep list now. Quiet, simple, and essential. Number 7. Safety razor blades. Grooming may not feel like a survival priority until you're weeks into a crisis with no way to shave, trim, or manage hygiene. And when it comes to long-term reliability, nothing beats a manual safety razor and its simple, replaceable, double-edged blades. But here's the problem. These blades are quietly vanishing, and most people won't realize it until they're gone. As of May 2025, safety razor blade availability is tightening. Most are imported from Germany, India, and Japan, where steel production and export logistics are already under stress. Several major manufacturers have scaled back retail supply in favor of bulk and commercial contracts. Prices have risen 15–25% across trusted brands like Feather, Astra, and Wilkinson, and more stores are quietly shifting away from traditional shaving products in favor of disposable, plastic-based systems. That makes no sense for preppers. Safety razors are durable, reusable, and eco-friendly. And the blades? Incredibly compact, feather-light, and long-lasting. A small box of 100 can last years, even if you shave daily. In off-grid situations or prolonged grid failures, this setup becomes not just useful, but essential for hygiene, morale, and even wound care prep, where a clean shave is sometimes necessary for dressing skin. Modern disposable razors are bulky, pricey, and rely on shipping complicated plastic and rubber components. If those systems break down, you'll be stuck paying triple or not shaving at all. Safety blades are also a prime barter item. Small, sealed, and universally understood, they'll be in demand for months once personal care products vanish from shelves. If you don't already have a manual razor and a blade stash, get one now. Learn to use it properly, and you'll be free from disposable systems forever. Shaving may be low on your prep list, but razor blades will be one of the first. Silent luxuries to vanish. Stock up now while no one's looking. Number 8. Heavy-duty work gloves. The hand protection. Everyone forgets. In a world where we're all used to soft hands and touchscreen devices, most people forget that when things break down, you'll need your hands more than ever. Whether it's clearing debris, chopping wood, lifting supplies, or handling hot cookware over an open flame, you'll need protection. That's why heavy-duty work gloves are one of the most overlooked yet mission-critical items that'll vanish after June 2025. And not just any gloves. Durable leather or reinforced fabric gloves with proper stitching and knuckle protection. These aren't for show, they're for survival. As of May 2025, major hardware chains and online retailers are already reporting slower restocks and shortages in popular sizes, especially medium and large. The reason? Many glove components, rubberized grips, treated fabrics, stitching threads, are sourced from overseas. With rising production costs and international shipping volatility, restock cycles are stretching beyond 60–90 days, and let's be clear, flimsy gardening gloves won't cut it. If you're moving firewood, hammering, or repairing fencing after a storm, you'll need something that can take real punishment without tearing, and without tearing your hands up with it. In a prolonged crisis or grid-down scenario, your hands are everything. Cuts, blisters, and burns slow you down, or worse, become infected without medical access. A solid pair of gloves is your first line of defense. Preppers know good gloves are like good boots, essential and irreplaceable once they wear out. They also store well, don't expire, and are easy to stash in cars, bug-out bags, or toolkits. And yes, they'll be highly tradable when physical labor becomes the norm and injuries spike from improvised work conditions. Don't wait until you're hauling debris barehanded to realize you're missing something vital. Get your gloves now, because once the demand hits, they won't stay on the shelf. Number 9. Multi-fuel lighters. When the grid goes down and your electric tools are dead, one thing becomes priceless: fire. And while most people rush to stock matches or disposable Bics, the smart move is a multi-fuel, refillable lighter, like a classic Zippo or a storm-proof survival model. But here's the catch: these are already starting to vanish from shelves. Unlike disposable lighters, which run out quickly or fail under pressure, multi-fuel lighters are durable, refillable, and designed to work in wind, rain, and cold. They can burn butane, naphtha, or even rubbing alcohol in a pinch, making them the ultimate low-tech fire starter. As of May 2025, major outdoor retailers and online stores are seeing longer restock times on refillable lighters, and especially lighter fluid, flints, and wick replacements. These parts are mostly imported from Asia, where steel production and manufacturing delays are causing massive backlogs. Why does this matter? Because you don't just need a flame, you need a reliable flame. Whether you're lighting a stove, starting a campfire, sterilizing tools, or burning trash, one working lighter can do more than a box of matches ever will. The best part? These tools are small, tough, and store for years. One Zippo with spare flints and fluid can last decades if maintained. That makes it ideal for long-term kits, bug-out bags, or barter stock. In an emergency, people won't just want food, they'll want heat. And anyone without a working lighter will pay dearly to get one. Stock up now while the gear's still available, because the ability to make fire isn't optional, and these lighters won't wait on shelves forever. Number 10. Mylar bags. Everyone talks about storing food, but few talk about how to store it properly. That's where Mylar bags come in. These aren't just any plastic pouches, they're the gold standard for preserving dry goods like rice, beans, flour, oats, and pasta for 10, 15, even 25 years. But by the time most people realize they need them, they'll be gone. As of May 2025, many preparedness suppliers and online retailers are already reporting long delays and fluctuating prices for Mylar bags, especially in larger sizes like 1 gallon and 5-gallon formats. Why? Because Mylar is a specialized material that requires aluminum foil laminated with polyester, much of which is imported from Asia. Between rising demand, global shipping delays, and increased use in the freeze-dried food industry, stock is drying up fast. It's not just the bags either. Oxygen absorbers, which are placed inside Mylar bags to prevent spoilage, are also experiencing shortages. Without them, long-term food storage becomes far less effective. What makes Mylar bags so valuable? They create a light-proof, airtight, moisture-resistant barrier. This drastically slows down oxidation and spoilage, allowing you to store bulk dry goods without refrigeration or rotation for years. They're also compact and easy to stash. You can store dozens in a drawer or emergency kit, then deploy them when food prices spike or bulk goods become your only option. And in a crisis, Mylar bags become extremely valuable for barter, especially for others who bought bulk grains but didn't think about how to store them. If you're serious about food security, don't just buy the rice. Buy the bag that'll protect it. Mylar bags are the prepper tool no one sees until they need them. And by then, the shelves are already empty. Get them now, before your food storage turns into food waste. These 10 items aren't guesses, they're patterns. Quiet shortages are already forming behind the scenes. Manufacturing delays, import issues, and seasonal demand are converging. And by the time July hits, most of these essentials will be either overpriced, picked clean, or completely gone. Most people will wait until the shelves are empty. But not you. You've seen what's coming. Now it's time to act. Don't try to get everything at once. Start with what you can afford and build from there. Whether it's Mylar bags, butane canisters, or electrolyte powders, even one item checked off this list puts you ahead of 90% of the crowd. And before you go, drop a comment below. Which of these caught you off guard? Are you already seeing gaps in your area? Let us know what city you're watching from. You might just find other smart preppers nearby. Like this video, subscribe, and turn on notifications, because this isn't a one-time warning. We track every shift, every shortage, and every silent Disruption so you don't get blindsided later. Stay sharp, stay stocked, and stay ahead.